Today's topic is loneliness during lockdown, which I think a lot of people will have experienced. Now, growing up, my lucky number was 2, since my mum said with 2 you're never lonely, and I believed it to be true. Until I realised that you can be surrounded by so many multiples of 2 and still feel like you have only you. And that's kind of how it's felt for me during lockdown. I'm in lockdown with 5 other people who are all wonderful, but because of my own mental health issues, I struggle to be around people quite a lot. And so I've locked myself away in my room. So how have I dealt with loneliness? I have cried hard so many times, and that is absolutely okay. Your body needs to expel negative emotions to fit in positive ones, so if you need to let it out, let it out. If you're in one room a lot like me, open the window and breathe some outside air, because it really does make a difference. Text someone, even if they're 3 rooms away. If you can't have that personal interaction, find another way of reaching out and letting someone know how you're doing. Social media gets a bad rap sometimes, and sometimes for a very good reason, but I think we can all agree it's been a bit of a blessing during this time for bringing people together. There's so much artsy stuff going on Facebook. Covid Gig the Festival from Home is one page. The 7 Arts Still Exist is another page, 2 that I'm a part of, but there's so many more. And you don't have to be an artist to go on there and share your work. You can just go and enjoy what other people are doing and be a part of something. And finally, I would encourage you to write. Write down how you're feeling, write as though no one is ever going to hear it, and then if you do ever share it as though everybody should. Today's topic is domestic abuse during lockdown and at any other time. This is a subject close to my heart, and although my experience was 11 years ago now, I know what it is to feel trapped. But I can only imagine how it must have felt to be in an abusive situation at home and then be told that we are going into a lockdown. To be told to stay at home when home is not your safe place. I remember I forgot how to be in control, so what would I do if he wasn't? And I couldn't imagine a life without him, so maybe there wasn't one. He's a joke, and not one I wanted to tell to people. But when I did, nobody laughed. They took me seriously. And I'm here to tell you with certainty that there are people out there that will take you seriously, and that you absolutely have a life worth living outside of this person. They may have made your bed, but it's time for you to burn the sheets. So, if you're worried about a situation you are in, I am encouraging you with all of the love and understanding in the world to reach out to someone you trust. Call 111, call 999, these numbers are here for you. You are important. There is help out there for you, and you are worth helping. So stay at home, unless you're being abused. Today's topic is anxiety and panic during lockdown, and I can't fully comprehend the amount of people that this affects. I know for me, mine's been induced by the whole uncertainty of the COVID-19 situation, but also, way more simply, by the supermarket shopping. Something that I actively avoided before lockdown, but haven't been able to since I've been in lockdown with high-risk people who need their shopping. If I go to a supermarket, I tend to twitch physically, and it induces panic attacks for me. So how have I overcome this? I've chosen to use a supermarket 10 minutes further from my house because it is bigger and more spaced out, and my mind feels more comfortable there. I put my headphones in even though there's no music playing. It just drowns out some of the outside noise, and honestly, it makes it less likely that someone's going to start a conversation with me. If I feel myself trying to catch my breath, I do some box breathing. So I imagine my mind is drawing a box in front of my eyes. I breathe in for 4 seconds at one side, hold for 4 seconds across the top, breathe out for 4 seconds down the other side, hold for 4 seconds across the bottom, and then repeat until I'm breathing comfortably again. Be forgiving of yourself. The amount of times I've driven to the supermarket by now and driven all the way back again with no shopping is countless, just because I couldn't get out of the car. But I know that I can, and I will try again tomorrow. There are no expectations in this world, only experiments. Today's topic is eating disorders during lockdown, and there is something disorderly about the way I eat. This isn't a subject I talk about all that much because it has the ability to make me feel unbelievably uncomfortable, as I know it's something I don't have a hold over just yet. However, I know it is important that we talk about it, and lockdown has been quite the trigger, so I imagine other people are probably feeling the same way. When the restrictions went into place and we shouldn't go to the shop unless it was for essential items, I would feel guilty going to buy food just to feed my compulsions. And on the days when I didn't fancy being judged for what I was putting in my basket, I would starve. Plus, for me, my eating habits stem from needing to feel in control, and I think we can all agree we've felt out of control lately. It's so important that we remember that people are dealing with other illnesses right now outside of COVID-19, and some of them are seemingly invisible. If you're struggling with an eating disorder, I want to tell you that you are going to get through this like you have every time before, or like you never have before. If you had a bunch of 7 flowers and 1 wilted, you would throw away 1, not 7. So if you're having a bad day, throw it away and nurture the ones that are still here. If you need help, please see a doctor. You are important and you are worth helping. Today's topic is manic highs during lockdown, which, if you're anything like me, have come and gone dramatically during the recent weeks. These are great fun when you're in them and you feel so productive, like you can get everything done. But you see, when it's bad, I forget how good it gets. And when it's good, I forget how bad it gets. I'm wary of good because how bad the ensuing crash will be leaves me in suspense. But you know what? However you feel right now in this moment is absolutely fine. If you feel like you can go and run 5k or do a yoga class online, go and get it. But if what you need right now is to take your time, do that without judgment and be kind to yourself. Remembering that everything is temporary. And if you don't feel productive today, you will on another. If you've been on a high recently and you can feel yourself coming down, don't be hard on yourself. Let yourself come down gently. And don't focus on what someone else is capable of. It's okay if they're influential, but you don't need to crave their attributes. Start falling in love with your own potential. Today's topic is manic highs, and I think I'm on one. Today's topic is manic highs during lockdown, which, if you're anything like me, have come and gone dramatically over the recent weeks. Already forgotten. Literally line 1, second line gone. All else fails, Macarena. If you're anything like me, have come and gone dramatically over recent weeks. Okay, these are great when you're in them and you feel like so, you feel like so productive, like you can get anything done. And be kind to yourself. I already knew I'd forgotten it. Just so in the moment. If you feel... Sometimes my mouth doesn't do what my head is telling it to do. And just because you don't feel productive one day... Damn it. If you don't feel productive today, you will on another. There you go, Jem. You can do it. If you're anything like me, have come and gone dramatically during the week... However, the second word was however. I was going to say however you feel right now. God damn it. When there's food... I knew what I wanted to say, it just didn't happen. As it's something I know I don't have fully let's just throw words in that weren't in there in the first place, Jem, shall we? Why not? And on the day when or days, you know, not just on the day, like it was one day, like on the... Finish your words. When the restrictions went in place, and that was very weird. When the restrictions went in place. Chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. As it's something that I just know I don't have a hold over yet. But I'm just moving the words around to confuse myself, clearly. And don't focus what someone else... That wasn't a sentence. Don't focus what someone else... What? That was the last bit as well. God damn it. I was so close. And don't focus what someone... Why can't I say that? That's not a sentence without the word on. Don't focus what someone else is capable of. Don't focus on. On. It's too early for this. It's 9:10 in the morning. Too early for being wrong about things. It's okay if they're influential. Fuck! That was the end. Start falling in love with your own potential. Fucking finally.